Hey everyone, I'm Jay.
And I'm Sean.
And today we've got a new movie on Netflix for you called The Old Guard. So, The Old Guard is actually based on a graphic novel by Greg Rucka and Leandro Fernandez. And so Greg Rucka actually writes the script for this. So he should know. They went to the top source for this.
They did, the expert.
Yes. Directed by Gina Prince-Bythewood, who I love for her movie Beyond the Lights, and you may remember for Love and Basketball.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's going back quite some time.
Ways, yeah.
Yes. So this is a new, it sort of defies categorization in some ways.
In some ways,
it's hard to say.
It an action movie.
Well, it is an action movie. Is it also a sci-fi movie? Maybe it is. Is it a little bit of a paranormal movie? Maybe it is. Is it a bit of a superhero movie? Maybe it is. There's a lot of elements at play here. And as Sean said, at its heart, it is an action-adventure movie. That's what we're here for. It stars Charlize Theron, who is newly an action star.
Yeah, she's kind of pulled a Keanu Reeves.
Exactly. Well, I mean, it's kind of a funny thing that our action stars are being rediscovered in their later career, like Liam Neeson.
Yeah, that's true.
Certainly.
Although both Keanu and Charlize are doing very physical action scenes.
Very much, yes.
Liam Neeson, not so much.
Not so much, yes. And he said his body is tired and he is about done with those. Yeah. But as you know, Charlize Theron for Atomic Blonde was training with the same people who did John Wick. So that is a very good and apt comparison. And I think I've sort of not blamed, but credited maybe John Wick for elevating the action genre. Not to say it was stagnant, but I think when you think about The Matrix and how that kind of pushed the genre forward, again, Keanu, I suppose.
Yeah.
But just it was a new way of seeing the action, of imagining what we could do. Very
close up, very physical, very choreographed.
Slowed down in some ways,
That's right. We're not
almost
afraid to
acrobatic.
And not afraid to have that 4-minute action scene of just building the tension and who's gonna get who. Mm-hmm.
So I think John Wick was one of those markers. It was time to elevate our game. If we want to keep the audience engaged, this is what we have to do. There's a new level of choreography that's happening. And I thought even in a movie that I didn't like Extraction, I saw evidence of that, where, just heavily choreographed. It really is. You can't just punch people for 2 minutes anymore. You've got to get pretty fancy with it.
And we're also having the stars do all of these things. We're making an emphasis.
We're making them be physical.
Yes.
Because as you said, there is a lot more close-up, so you can't rely as much on stunt doubles.
Right.
Of course, they are still incredibly involved, and we thank them for it.
Yeah, they are, but we're trying to really present that this is Keanu or Charlize or Chris Hemsworth. Mm-hmm. This is him, this is her. This is not some other person who's good at this stuff.
Right. So, Charlize plays Andy, and she's sort of the leader of the Old Guard, which is what other people kind of call her group, a covert team of mercenaries. And I think when we first meet her, the group has reassembled for the first time in some time.
Seems that way, yes.
And she seems so bone-weary and so reluctant to get back into the fray. And somebody is pitching, a new job at her, and she's just looks so exhausted and so reluctant to get back out there. And we see almost right away that she's feeling cynical. She's feeling like whatever good she started out to do, she doesn't see that in the world. Enough. She doesn't feel like the world is any better. Yeah. So what's the point? Well, this man Copley, who is the new client, lures her in with a pretty good reason. So Copley is played by the wonderful Chiwetel Ejiofor. And he presents her with a group of young girls who are being trafficked. So, that's kind of an undeniable thing. I mean, you can see the goodness and rightness in saving these young women. So even though she's not fully into this life right now, she's definitely up for this job. So her group is very small, which is nice because we do get to know them a little bit better because we're just being introduced to everyone at the same time, really. So we have Booker, who kind of seems like her right-hand man. That's Matthias Schoenaerts. Very good in this. And then Joe and Nikki, who are, I feel like saying a couple is kind of doing them a disservice, and I think they would certainly say that. They have a unique and interesting bond. So Joe played by the wonderful Marwan Kenzari and Nikki by Luca Marinelli. So it's a small gang, just these four people.
Yeah.
But historically, apparently the four have been enough. So they are well trained, they're good to go. They locate where the girls are being held, and they get there, and it's a trap.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. So Copley is working for the world's youngest big pharma CEO. Apparently a Harry Potter star that I've never heard of.
Yeah, he creeped you out.
He did kind of creep me out. And I also felt like the wardrobe people were being a bit lazy with this character because really the hoodie, the young CEO
the tech
hoodie,
billionaire.
That's such a cliche that I really, it soured me against this guy, and he didn't need to be soured any further than he was. But anyways, clearly this group of mercenaries, and we won't say exactly what's up, but they have some superhuman abilities. They are extra good at fighting.
They're very good.
They're very good at what they do. And it seems, they're super secret. They're on the down low. They don't want to be found or known. But from the little that Copley has been able to follow on them, they've pulled up some pretty amazing stuff. So this pharma guy thinks if I can study these people, get their DNA, then we can weaponize that. Isn't that, they just want to make money.
They want to profit. Yeah,
huge profits, and whoever gets them is gonna make some money, so they're the ones to do it. And lucky for everyone, they have no conscious
No.
There's no ethics, morals, or anything that's gonna bother them with just holding people against their will. So it's a little alarming.
Yes, it is.
But in some ways, we've kind of seen this storyline before.
Yeah, we have.
So to me, what was interesting about the movie, two things really. Number one, it did a little bit remind me of Wonder Woman. Just because of that sort of cynicism, like, are humans even worth it? Are people even worth it? Is the world worth it? Is humanity worth it? Mm-hmm. We're putting forth all this effort and things still seem to be getting worse.
Yeah.
And also I liked that, as we know, there are 4 members of this group, but a 5th one is discovered during these proceedings. So it's a very crazy time for them. But yes, a 5th person has newly awakened these abilities, whatever they are. And so just having her be introduced to the group, we learn very quickly what this group is about and what they believe in. And so I thought the philosophies behind these things, because a lot of action movies will just bang, bang, bang you with constant sequences, and they're just trying to get to more action. And this movie did not lack for action, I will tell you that. There's gonna be some blood spatter for sure. But in between, we do get to talk about these things, like, should we do something just because we can? And what toll does it take, even if you are doing good? There's still a grief that's accumulating, there is still harm being done to people. And just sort of the weight of those things clearly have taken a toll on the people involved. So I thought it was interesting that we see them weighing up those options and those costs, and also see the weight of them and how they carry on or can't carry on. So how did you like this movie?
I enjoyed it. And as you said, the action scenes are good. And there are a lot of them. This is an action movie at first and foremost, but not just. And you're right. This is not just a kind of on the rails adventure of we'll just go from one fight scene to the next and we'll try and tie them together. There is almost a mythology or a legend underlying this, and then there's also a lot of interesting philosophy that is being discussed. What does matter and what is important and why are we doing this? Why are we here? I think there's a lot to like about this movie. There really is. It's something kind of for everyone. Even if you're not drawn to the action scenes, I think you're going to respect them. And there's a whole other thing here that you could enjoy anyway.
So this movie is a Netflix original. And I thought the ending sort of was setting us up for a sequel.
The ending totally sets up a sequel.
You feel like this could be
a franchise. Yeah, absolutely.
And I did it's just because they're humans who seem to have like extra abilities than the normal people. So I kind of in my head was comparing them to like the Avengers because they're a little group acting together, but they do have different thoughts and feelings, and
that's right. They don't always agree on what should be done.
Yes. So I really thought Andy, the Charlize Theron character, really had to be both the Iron Man and the Captain America at the same time. Well, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
She had to be the strong one and the one with the heart, and somehow try to make the good decisions, and clearly that has affected her very much.
Well, I guess that would make the new member the Spider-Man.
Ooh, well, you would not mind that at all.
No, well, there is that kind of comparison to be made. And I really did, I thought that was one of the strongest parts of this movie was the interplay between those two characters of the old and the new.
Yes, that's right. So the new one, Nile, is played by KiKi Layne, who we of course loved in If Beale Street Could Talk. So that's quite a different movie than this one.
Yes.
She hasn't gone straight. She's had a few things in between, but it is a very different kind of movie, and she's really actually excellent.
She's awesome. Yeah, she does absolutely keep her own with Charlize, and that's quite a feat.
Clearly people were training quite heavily for this movie.
Yeah, they put a lot of work into it.
They are asked to do a lot of stuff. And Andy carries a signature weapon that I was kind of enjoying.
Really cool.
A very iconic look. It is, one of those like Thor's hammer.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
So I have not read the graphic novel, and I think you
haven't either. No.
I would be interested in giving it a look. I did really like the movie, and I really liked the characters, and I liked the background and, like you said, the mythology of it, because there's a history here.
There's a lot.
We only get little bits and
sample
pieces
of it. Yeah.
Not in a frustrating way. I think they did a good job in the movie.
I do too.
The script was well adapted, I thought. They're giving us enough.
But the focus is not the backstory.
Right.
The focus is this mission that we're on right now. And I think that was the right choice.
Yeah. But I would like to read it because I did like it so much, and I'm sure, the book always gives you more of the good stuff, right?
Yeah, but maybe the sequel will, and that's kind of a John Wick comparison too, where as those have gone on, you've learned more about that mythology.
That's right. The first one just kind of throws you right in, and you're like learning about him in the fray, more by what he doesn't want to do than by what he is now. So it is interesting. I really enjoyed it. It was entertaining and a little bit thought-provoking. So it's always a good
action movie.
Yes, a good deal if you can get both those things in.
Agreed.
All right,
So
well-
it's a watch, absolutely.
Yeah, we don't always have a lot of those to give out, but we both
Not
like
lately.
this one.
Yeah, this is a good one on Netflix.
Yes, they're action movies. The last few have been questionable at best, and so it is really nice to see a good one.
Yes,
by
it
them.
is.
And maybe the promise of more.
Yeah, I would totally be up for a sequel, and I'm sure Netflix is going to learn pretty quick that I'm not the only one.
That's right. Okay, well, thanks for watching. Check this one out on Netflix. It's called The Old Guard. Bye, everyone.